Hey guys, welcome to the AoStation episode 16. I'm Tom, your host, and we have a special episode today. Not really that special, but whatever, I exaggerate a lot. We're covering Dota 2, Heroes of Newerth, League of Legends, Bloodline Champions, and some extra stuff hidden in there. And I guess we'll just start it off by introducing our guest host for the day, who is Sweelias. Oh, actually, I forgot to write your name in the lower third. Whoops. Well, you're Sweelias anyway. Do you mind showing your face, or?
What do you mean?
Not much. How you doing?
Good.
Great. I guess we'll just get straight into the news. Why don't we? The first thing on our list today is Dota. Dota 2. The Dota 2 beta is still being made. It's still going. Yeah, it's not released yet, obviously. They have a lot to do, but one of the things that they are talking about here in their latest blog post is about how they're updating the user interface because of what people have been suggesting, and they do a little sneak preview of the new interface, as well as a sneak preview of Phantom Lancer, who obviously a staple Dota hero, so it's good to see him coming into the game. And you can see the changes that they have, making it so that all of the stats are very easy to see. It almost looks like the Heroes of Newerth, layout, you know what I mean, with the hero and then their stats right next to it.
Yeah, that's nice.
A little bit.
Your movement speed is shown there, isn't it?
What?
Yeah, it is. Your movement speed.
Oh yeah, well no, you can see your movement speed in Heroes of Newerth.
Yeah, but Dota, damn it.
Oh yeah, in Dota you had to type /ms or whatever. And as you can see down here, there's new courier user interface, blah blah blah, and new items icons for some of the other items like phase boots, and actually they're not called phase boots. I'm gonna get yelled at for saying that. Sorry. Sanja and Yasha. What are the Ring of the Basilius or whatever? Mjolnir. I don't. Yeah, the other ones are whatever.
Mjolnir.
Mjolnir. Yeah. We have our own token Swedish guy, so now we know how to pronounce things correctly. And that's really it for Dota 2 news. There's nothing much else to talk about, right? Am I missing anything, Sweelias?
Dota 2, not really.
That's what I thought. Not a whole lot. Okay, well, if you guys want to see the special stuff or the fine detail, you can check out all the links in the description. Let's go over to League of Legends, and once again, not a lot to talk about, but whatever. Two of the things that I wanted to talk about here were they are releasing a new patch with Varus, the archer dude, whatever his name is.
I want him.
I don't want him at all, but they're also doing some patch changes. You can see them in this video, but obviously I'm not allowed to show videos on my show because YouTube is evil. No, YouTube's not evil, but sometimes it's difficult to deal with copyright stuff. But instead of actually looking at the video, I wrote down some of the changes on my own. Some of the things that they're adding in with the patch is that they're increasing magic resist per level on some of the tanky support heroes, just to keep them from dying from excessive AoE damage too early on. They're also changing Master Yi a little bit. They're increasing the duration of his Highlander, as well as that's it. They're also changing Rise around a little bit, and they're nerfing his mana ratios on all of his abilities except for Spell Flux, which doesn't have one yet, and they're adding a mana ratio to Spell Flux. So now Spell Flux will deal damage based on your mana. Oh, you can see my little notepad thing there. Boop boop. Okay. And now Spell Flux prioritizes enemy heroes, which I surprised they didn't already do that, to be completely honest. And Desperate Power now doesn't give you bonus mana passively. Instead, it gives you movement speed when you cast it. So it's now can be used as kind of an escape mechanism thing.
Or initiation.
Yeah, or initiation, excuse me. And they're also changing a lot of their AP items to make them less shitty, which is what I wrote down. That's pretty much what they're doing, though, because they're making it so that you can choose more than just Random's Death Cap. Is that what it's called?
Rabadon's Death Cap.
Yeah, you can choose more than just that and Will of the Ancients, because those were basically the go-to AP items, and so they're buffing the other ones and and nerfing the more powerful ones just to keep it more in line so that there's more actual choice instead of imaginary choice. Which I find there's a lot of that in League of Legends. You know, like some items are cool, like Cloak and Dagger. It's I believe it's an item that gives you
critical strike chance and tenacity.
Yeah, and that sounds cool, but really, who's gonna, you know? No, I'm just gonna stack Phantom Dancers. I don't care.
Yeah, but it's better to just pick up Malco Treads.
Yeah, exactly. And besides just those changes, they are also adding in, excuse me, they're finally releasing Spectator Mode.
Yeah?
Yep, there's a full release of Spectator Mode coming up in the new patch, which I'm gonna have to dig it to League of Legends, because Heroes of Newerth and Dota 2 have had those for a long time. So yeah, good job, League of Legends, Riot Games. You're finally in the 21st century, but
let's hope it's good.
Yeah, let's hope it doesn't suck. I doubt it, but whatever. Instead of just bashing LoL, we're gonna go over to Heroes of Newerth. As you can see in the new patch, they released a new hero, Ellonia, and we talked about her last episode. Except, like always, the information about the hero comes out right after AoStation. So literally, I found out about the hero the next morning. So she's already been out for a couple days, and all of her information has been leaked. But we'll go over her specifically in a minute. First of all, we're going to go over to the patch notes. There really isn't that much to talk about as per usual, but you can see the free-to-play roster right here. There's not a whole lot to talk about, except for the carries. You're going to see a lot of Swiftblades, Soul Stealers, Arachnas, and Keepers. Excuse me, I keep burping. But you're also going to see Pebbles a lot, and Pebbles is like a very dominant hero if you let him be. So if you're new to Heroes of Newerth, watch out for a mid lane Pebbles. Make sure to take him out quick, because he will dominate you unless you do something about it early on. As for that, there really isn't much else they released. They released Ellonia, obviously, as well as her alt avatar, early access alt avatar, excuse me, which is 0, as you can see up here. There he is. And they're also releasing another alt avatar, Forsaken Archer, the Clockwork Archer. So that makes it her second alt avatar, which kind of confuses me, considering that a lot of, well, there's some champions, excuse me, God, I'm gonna kill myself, some heroes that don't have alt avatars, and then there are heroes like Swiftblade and Forsaken Archer and all these other Pharaoh, who all have more than 2. It's a little.
Don't cast them.
I know it's not a big deal. I know, but still, I think it's a little weird that they're not giving something to like Puppet Master, or one of those heroes that just doesn't have one. But let's go over Ellonia real quick. Her first ability is Glacial Spike. It's a line of effect aim shot, sort of. What it does is it releases a whirling thing of ice that deals damage and slows over time. And it's pretty fast, actually. It's pretty fast. And it does give clear vision, and it gives lingering vision as well over the area. And it applies. Oh no, it doesn't deal damage over time. Excuse me. All it does base damage, like initial damage, and it applies charges of frost, and frost slows you. And her second ability is Frigid Fields, which it blankets an area in crystal shards. I'm just reading it straight off the thing. It deals initial magic damage on cast and every 1 second for 3 seconds, as well as applying 2 charges of frosted for 4 seconds whenever damage is applied, as well as giving clear vision. There's a lot of clear vision these days. Everybody and their mother has clear vision in Han. It's really weird. And then Flash Freeze is her third ability, which literally it just deals damage and stuns based on the amount of stacks of frost the target has. So you want to be throwing all of her abilities at a target and then stunning them and damaging them for a lot, based on the amounts of stacks that are on them. It's a pretty basic force synergy, but it works in this case because all of her abilities do actually give stacks of frost. And then
long cooldown though. Long cooldown, 15 seconds.
Yeah, well, that's actually something that's pretty common for all of her abilities. Like, look at this. Frigid Field only has a 2-second cooldown. And so does Glacial Spike has a 2-second cooldown.
Yeah, I know, that's...
And her ultimate has a minute cooldown. She has really low cooldowns for pretty much everything.
Only cooldown that's a little higher is Flash Freeze.
Yeah, that's 15 is pretty good for any ability.
Yeah.
So having
Max damage 1100.
yeah, really.
Oh god.
Well, oh yeah, I forgot to go over her ultimate. Excuse me. Absolute Zero. It's basically just a weird version of Glacial Spike. It moves a little bit slower and it deals damage every what is it? Every small amount of time. It's less than a second, and it deals magic damage and applies charge. It applies frost, correct? And oh, it deals damage based on how far away you are from the center. I swear I'm the English speaker here, and I can't seem to say anything correctly. Once again, it gives clear vision. What's up with all the clear vision? Does S2 Games,
like it.
Do they just not like juking? Are they like, you know that whole tree thing where you can juke around trees and block line of sight? Yeah, none of that. We don't want any of that in our game. Nope. I don't get it. And I said it moves slowly. It moves almost at maximum movement speed, but in comparison, the other one moves at twice the movement speed. So it's slow for projectiles, fast for heroes. So I don't think anybody will really be outrunning it, but it's a fairly slow projectile. And that's basically it for her. Her strat is basically just toss all her abilities, slow everybody down, stun one target with the flash freeze, and keep everybody locked down with your CC and damage. She's a pretty cool hero though. I like her. What do you think about her, Sweelias?
I think she might be a good support lane or ganker.
Yep.
Because that stun looks quite nice on all the slows.
Almost like a almost like a Glacius Pyromancer, like less support than Glacius, but more like a semi-carry like Pyromancer. Would you venture to say that?
No, not really semi-carry, because she doesn't have anything that really scales in the late game.
Okay.
Appears.
Okay.
Like Pyromancer got his insane attack speed.
Yeah.
Boost.
Never mind.
Damage.
I take that back. I feel like a scrub now. But to completely avoid me sounding like a scrub, let's go over to our extra segment at the end of the show called the Bloodline Champion Spotlight, where we cover a Bloodline champion. Today we're gonna go over Thorn, since we went over every single one from every single class. No, we went over through every single class. Excuse me. So we're going back to tank. We cycle through each class just to keep things fresh. And this week's tank is Thorn, and we're gonna go over his abilities real quick, as well as tell you how to use them. His first ability is his basic mouse 1. It's his root bash. It deals damage and heals him for oh no, it doesn't heal him. Excuse me. It reduces the damage he takes for a short amount of time. So basically, as long as you're hitting people, you're going to be taking reduced damage. So that's one of the ways that he tanks. Fungal Spores is his mouse 2 button, and it throws 2 projectiles out, and each of them deals damage and reduces movement speed and reduces damage and healing done. So another one of those damage reduction things, another way for him to tank. His spacebar button is Mud Walk. You dig into the ground, and pop out at another location. And you deal damage and entangle people around you, which stuns them for a small amount of time. And excuse me. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Sorry, I'm looking way too deep into some of these. His other ability, his target ground ability, is Defiled Plant. It summons a little plant where you click it, and after a small amount of time, that explodes, sending a shockwave towards you, and anyone caught in the shockwave gets pulled towards you, dealt damage, and slowed. So it's basically like a Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. You just get over here, you grab him and you pull him towards you. And his EX version of that heals nearby allies instead of doing everything. it just heals. Okay. Mushroom Spore is another one of his abilities. It's another one of those projectiles. It deals damage and applies Entangling Roots. And what Entangling Roots does is it stuns the target and deals 50 damage and heals Thorn for 50 health every short amount of time. Every second, excuse me. And his buff ability is Treacherous Roots. You can target yourself or an ally, which dispels all movement impairing effects. Damage dealt instead is healed for 50% of the damage. So instead of taking damage, you get healed for 50% of it. And getting hit by a projectile or a melee attack inflicts Deadwood Seed on the attacker. Energy gained from the enemy's attacks are reduced by 75%. So basically, the enemies aren't going to be getting as much energy from the attacks that they land on you. This effect breaks after absorbing a small amount of damage, and no one can move while under its effects. So it's kind of like a shield, but it has it heals you. It's a shield that heals you while blocking damage while impairing enemies. So it's a little bit complicated, but whatever. Basically, just toss it down on people when they're low or they need a buff. And his ultimate is Dead Roots, kind of like Mudwalk, except when you travel, it leaves roots behind. Each of those dealing heavy damage every half second, excuse me, and lowering movement speed. So basically, you want to use that to cover ground and almost deny ground, excuse me. So you want to be dealing damage, slowing people. The more people you can get in your ultimate, the better. Personally, I would save up my meter for my ultimate because death spores and the healing spores aren't worth it in my opinion. But it's really on a situation to situation basis. But there are some heroes that have EX moves that are just way too good. So I just wanted to point that out there, that I don't really think his EX moves are as good as his ultimate. So he's your basic tank, and he teleports around and he does things. What do you have to say, Sweelias?
But his EX move on Defiled Plant heals for 320 health, so it's quite a lot.
Oh, yeah,
so.
It is. I totally agree. But would you use that over Dead Roots? I mean, it's a good heal, yeah. But if you don't need it, I mean,
if they're low health, so
I like Dead Roots a lot. Maybe that's just me. I love it because it covers so much ground and it deals so much damage. It does 80 damage per half second. That's 160 damage a second.
People.
It deals a ton of damage, and it slows, and I don't know. But yeah, everything is on a situation to situation basis. So if you need the heal, that does heal for a fair amount, but it is 40% of your meters. So kind of gonna have to balance that out. Is it worth 40%? I don't know.
Yeah.
I forgot to talk about the EX version of Mushroom Spore. Excuse me. Death Spore. It deals damage and weakens the target, reducing their damage and healing by 50%. So that's another way to reduce people's damage to make it easier for you to tank. So there you go. Basically, he tanks through reducing damage and healing himself with Treacherous Roots. He has a lot of movement and a lot of CC for a tank. So if you like all of that, pick this guy up. Bloodline Champions is free to play. You should go download it, whether you've played it before or not. Try it out. Shut up, Sweelias. Don't you dare. It's a good game, trust me. Don't listen to Sweelias. He's a troll. No, I'm not even gonna. No, you're not even gonna be on the screen anymore. Bye, bad Sweelias. I'm an idiot. Okay, well. Excuse me. There we go. That's pretty much the end of the show, guys. But I wanted to talk about one little tiny thing I mentioned at the beginning of the show. This is our website, AoStation.com, where we talk about stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah, I write articles and stuff. But there's this one video right here that I wanted to talk about. It's actually not a mod, but it's a custom map for Heroes of Newerth. If you're familiar with Warcraft 3, you're familiar with Elemental TD, and apparently they literally made Elemental TD in Heroes of Newerth, and I'm amazed by this. Basically because Heroes of Newerth doesn't have a functioning map editor yet. I mean, it has a map editor, but it doesn't actually let you like code or any of that stuff. So they must have somehow found a way around it. They must have found out how Heroes of Newerth is coded and actually done it themselves, which is really impressive. But shut up. But it's super impressive. I'm blown away by that. I really am a firm believer that if S2 creates a map editor that's anything even close to Warcraft 3's editor, they will blow League of Legends and Dota 2 out of the water, considering that the entire genre came out of that. You know what I mean? Sweelias, what do you think about map editors?
I want it.
I know.
I want it now.
I want it now!
Give me the map editor.
Yeah, totally. That's pretty much it, guys. Sweelias, thank you so much for being on the show. Episode 16. Where can we find you? Unfortunately, we don't have a lower third for you, so it's not on screen, but it'll be in the description. Where can we find you, Sweelias?
Right here.
No. What's your Twitter? At CourierDC?
Yeah.
Okay. You can follow him at CourierDC. You can follow me at PandaBanana. You can follow the show at the AoStation. You can also follow us on Facebook at PandaBanana. We do the show every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4 p.m. Pacific, and 1 p.m. wherever the fuck Sweelias lives. I'm joking.
Sweden.
Sweden. Sweden. Oh, Sweden.
Skåne. Salt.
Yeah, we do the show every week. Talk about games. If you like us, share us. You know, share what we do with people. That's pretty much it, guys. We will see you next week. We can't even. They can't see you, Sweelias. They can't even see you. You're not even on screen. Yeah, that's what you get. Bye.